Hyundai has just introduced the latest member of its all-electric Ioniq family. Behind me is the Ioniq 6. Let's take a deeper look at this all-electric sedan. First, we need to discuss the looks. Maybe not everyone is a fan of the overall design, but I like it a lot. To me, it resembles a modern take on a classic European hatchback. I see some 80s Saab in the rear end. Hyundai refers to the Ioniq 6 shape as a streamliner design. More than just a stylistic exercise, the slippery shape eludes the air with a reported drag coefficient of just 0.22. And then there are these parametric pixel shapes. Add them all up inside and out, and there's over 700 on a single car. As well, there's a newly designed Hyundai H-badge front and rear. The next cool point is that the Ioniq 6 is indeed a sedan. Despite its hatchback-looking shape, there is a separate trunk in the rear that can hold over 11 cubic feet of gear. In fact, there's technically a second trunk up front, although the storage under the hood is quite small at less than half a cubic foot. Speaking of space, that brings us to point 3. The stretched wheelbase of this car offers a ton of legroom for front and rear seat passengers. Headroom up front is excellent as well, but taller passengers like myself will find it a bit snug in the rear seat. Regardless of which seat you're in, there's a dual color ambient lighting system that allows drivers to choose from a spectrum of 64 colors or 6 dual color themes developed by Hyundai's so-called color experts. The brand states to help drivers and passengers feel relaxed, but we just think it looks cool. Point 4 is all about screens. They're all the rage these days, and Hyundai has screen aficionados covered. The dashboard is dominated by a 12.3-inch full touchscreen infotainment system that's connected under a single piece of glass to another 12.3-inch screen that has the digital gauge cluster. And to add a little audio pizzazz to the visual experience, the Hyundai Ioniq 6 offers a virtual propulsion sound called Electric Active Sound Design, or EASD. The system uses an acoustic design processor to provide unique driving sounds inside the cabin. It's the first time it has been used on a Hyundai, and we're pretty sure it will operate similar to the system available in the Genesis GV60. Our final point answers the question of power. 2 drivetrains are available for the Ioniq 6. The first is a single motor rear-wheel drive setup that is good for 225 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It can travel upwards of 340 miles on a single charge. Those wanting more performance and traction can opt for the all-wheel drive model that uses 2 electric motors for a total output of 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque. This is good enough to propel the car from 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds. It can also travel upwards of 310 miles without recharging. Regardless of which drivetrain is chosen, the car comes with a 77.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack that, while using a 350 kilowatt charger, can recharge the Ioniq 6 battery from 10 to 80% in around 18 minutes. More details about the car will be available closer to its release, and be sure that we will get our hands on one and get a full review soon.